So today, just announced was iPhone's multitasking in their new 4.0 for their iPhone OS, and I looked at it. I was actually quite pleased to hear that Apple actually did something right for once. I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that, but they've been always been telling customers what they need, not but what they want, such as their non-QWERTY keyboards, just the multi-touch keyboards and such. But continuing, I was looking more into this whole multitasking thing that they're talking about, and after watching a video, I was quite surprised that they're calling this multitasking. It's not really multitasking. It's nothing but pausing an app and running the latest one that you just opened. They say it runs up to 4 apps at once, but it's not really running the apps. If you look on engadgetmobile.com, you'll see that in the video that they have for the multitasking, they'll open Safari, then they'll open the Twitter app. After pressing the button to get to the icons in the tray, reopen the Safari app. It was in the exact same loading spot that it was when it originally was opened. So this definitely makes for the fact that it's pausing the apps and leaving it paused while you run the latest app. That's why it's not affecting battery life or processing power, slowing down anything. It's very deceiving to call it multitasking because it's not really multitasking. It's really sugarcoating, pausing apps and running the latest one. I just thought I should let everybody in on this because everybody's thinking, oh great, iPhone's got multitasking, this is great. But it's not truly multitasking. While it just makes for an easier way to keep track of the latest apps that you open, which is great and all, but it's not multitasking. I'm really upset to hear that Apple would make these kind of I don't know if you want to call them assumptions, but claims. There you go, claims that they have multitasking on their OS now because they don't. Multitasking. I have here my Palm Pre, which I have a notification down at the bottom, as you can see in the corner there. Multitasking is the ability, if you can open one app, I'll open my videos app here, and I'll go to another app. Sorry, it's kind of off the screen there. This is the first commentary video I've ever done like this. And I'll open the Memos app here. See, I have control over what I'm running and what I'm not running, which makes for great processing power. One of the problems with Android's multitasking, Android does have true multitasking. It's not like the iPhone's OS where it pauses the apps. Android's multitasking really does run like 6 apps in the background at all times. Because it does this though, you have no control over what apps you're running. So if you open a really powerful app, something that puts a lot of stress on the processor, such as the Google Maps, and maybe you're looking at the web, and maybe you got maybe a Memos app open, something of that matter, and then like a Twitter app. Well, all that is going to put a lot of stress on the processor, slowing down the phone. I know that even the Motorola Droid, which is supposed to be the best Android phone out right now, is very, I don't know how I want to put this, but like, still slowed down by this. And I know that HTC from Sprint is announcing their Evo soon. Well, they actually already announced, releasing their Evo. They said June. That, even with the 1 gigahertz processor, they said even with Google Maps open and some other things, they were still having slowdown problems and stuff like that. Well, I'm not saying that the Palm Pre is by any chance bug-free and the fastest processing OS out there, all that other good stuff. It's still the best way to manage memory and everything of that matter. As you can see, I got a few apps open here. I'm going to the Engadget mobile app. Sorry, I'm off the screen again. I'm just kind of trying to do this out of memory here. I'll pause that. I'm not pausing it. I'm closing, not completely closing it. Sorry for my miswording there. But going to another app, letting that load in the background. See, this was on the iPhone OS. It wouldn't load while I was going into another app. It would pause in the loading process and wait for me to open again. But since I go here As you can see, the page is already almost completely loaded. And just another like thing that was I thought found was misleading. And this is true multitasking. You have the ability to control what apps are here, what apps are open. Just very, very misleading that they would claim that that's true multitasking. I've looked at many of the OSs out right now. Windows Mobile 6.5, that's even multitasking. It's not in the greatest form, but it's still multitasking. I would even say that's as good as better multitasking than Motorola's Droid, Samsung Moments, and the whole Android OS thing. Um, that's just my opinion on it all. I just don't think that the consumer should be lied to in this way, shape, and form. I'm very displeased with Apple. My dislike with Apple goes back to when I started. I was a big Apple fan. I've used their laptops for years. I used their iPods for years. I recently, back in, not too recent ago, but back in November of '08, I purchased an iPod Touch second generation, which I loved at first, but after noticing it's not really the great. I mean, this is like generations of OS back. This is before iPhone OS 3.0 and all that other stuff. But I was displeased with it. And I always said no multitasking. And not only that, but just the fact that it was always buggy, slow, and I know they have worked out those bugs now with new iPod Touches and new iPhones and such. But I was just not very happy with the OS. So I'm not like just saying that I'm a Palm fanboy or Android fanboy or anything in that matter. Very biased. I've tried it all. I've tried Android phones. I've tried iPhones. I and what I found so far to my best liking was the Palm Pre. I know that's the underdog right now, and they're having a lot of financial issues and situations, but they currently have the most polished OS out there. I know that it's what people don't realize though is it's first generation hardware and OS, so it's not perfect, and that's what people have to realize. You know, Android wasn't perfect when it came out on the T-Mobile's G1 when it first came out. By no means, a lot of people were actually displeased, said that Android was a failure when it first came out. With that in the G1, it was just a total bomb, and then turns out that Motorola did some working with the hardware, and they really sold Android's OS, and maybe Palm could do the same in the future. And iPhones pretty much sell themselves. They always have, and they always will. Even though they have a lot of good fan base, right? Good consumers who will just purchase their products based on anything. I'm not saying anything bad against Apple consumers or anything. I'm just saying no. That it seems like a lot of blind following, especially with the recently renewed iPad, not renewed iPad, recently released iPad. Just a lot of blind following. Well, that's just my whole take on the iPhone multitasking. I know this video was a little long, about 8 minutes of me talking, over 8 minutes of me talking. But I just feel like I should let the consumers know what they're purchasing here. It's not right for them to be lying and calling it multitasking. It's pausing, opening a new app. That's my take on it all. This is Ryan Swick here. This was my first video, so give me a break, guys. Please leave comments. Really appreciate it if you're watching this. Thank you, and have a good night. It's April 8th. I'm losing track of time here. Well, talk to you later.